crappin', and welcome to Under the Foreskin, a show dedicated to the happenings of the SJU and Misfits Fantasy Football League. My name is Kyle. I'm the head of football operations for the now one-loss Potomac Pretenders, the voice of SJU and Misfits Fantasy Football, and overall good guy. I'm here flying solo in the Under the Foreskin studios today. Got to hustle through this. Can't afford a 30-minute show this week, so we're going to try to get through in about 12 minutes. We'll run through the current standings in SJU and Misfits. We'll go through Week 8 matchups. You know what happened last week. We'll do Waiver Wire Wednesday and trades just like we do every week. We got to come up with a name for trades. Tweet me some ideas for trades. Maybe something to do with getting tin whiskered, I think would be nice. And then, of course, we'll do Week 9 pick'em. No studio guests, like I said today, so it should go a little faster. So, current standings. They read on top, the Gnawbone Butte Pirates, 6-1. Followed closely by my Potomac Pretenders, 5-1-1. Right behind them, the highest scoring team in the league, the Crapstone Prairie Dogs at 5-2. Border Collies tied with Crapstone, also at 5-2. Flint Tropics in sole 5th place, 4-2-1. Sioux City Smugglers, Polish Sausage Wallets, both at 4-3. Tin Whiskers, Trouser Snakes, Hollywood Hotties, all at 3-4. And Dodgers, Dillos, Poughkeepsie Pandas, all sitting in at 2-5. And, of course, the Waco Wrinkle Beasts rounding out the standings at 0-7. So how did the teams get to those records? Let's go through it. First, Border Collies dodge a Sunday Night Football charge from Decker and the Draft Dodgers. I was really excited about this game because I thought I made one of the best calls ever. The Border Collies won it, though, 88-85. I said that Decker would outscore both Trent Richardson and T.Y. Hilton, and the Dodgers would win. This would have happened because Decker did outscore those two. He had 22 points, T-Rich with 1, Hilton with 2. Unfortunately for the Dodgers, Arian Foster got hurt with only 1 point. If he puts up, 5 points, 6 points before he goes down with a bad hamstring, my premonition would have come true, and I would have felt pretty smart. Some positives for the Border Collies, though, even though it was a tight win, and I know Jason doesn't feel great about it. Matty Ice, 21 points, and Matt Forte, 28 points. Nice week. Forte goes big against his ex-owner, A-Bomb, and the Dodgers. Another positive for the Dodgers, Danny Woodhead looking like a nice waiver wire pickup. He scored 12 again this week. Andrew Luck was riding the pine this week as Phillip Rivers started against Jacksonville, which, definitely makes sense. But Luck scored 29 and Rivers scored somewhere around 16, so that would have also made the difference this week for the Dodgers. Dodgers now sit at 2-5 and Border Collies at 5-2, like I mentioned in the standings. Prairie Dogs push out 115, lay first dump all over the Pretenders. Crapstone 115. They defeated my Potomac Pretenders by a lot, who scored 54. 6 players in double digits for the Crapstone Prairie Dogs. Calvin with 28, Aaron Rodgers with 23. Yikes. AP only 4 points this week. He is suffering from the ineptitude of the Minnesota Vikings organization and head coach and coaching staff beyond the head coach. Julian Edelman scores 4 points this week, a little disappointing in Randall Cobb's stead. And Blair Walsh, kind of the stud kicker from last season, also only scores 1 point. Unfortunately for the Pretenders, newcomers Jay Cutler, he had -1 point. He got hurt. Doug Martin, also a newcomer as of 2 weeks ago. He went down with 4 points. And Larry Fitzgerald, who isn't a newcomer, he only scored 1 in a tough matchup on Thursday Night Football with the Sea Chickens. Zach captaining the fastest ship to 6 wins with win over Chernobyl. Butte Pirates 109, Chernobyl Tin Whiskers 98. Frank Gore 22, Freddie Jacks 13. Vinatieri with 16 points this week. Nice week for a kicker. And San Diego defense 18 against Jacksonville, kind of as expected. Some negatives for the Butte Pirates, though. Cam Newton, blah. Cruz, blah. Vernon Davis, blah. Who cares, though, when you got your kicker putting up 16, your D putting up 18, and your flex running back putting up 13? You're going to win often. For Chernobyl, Peyton, big game, 25 points, and a lot of others, 8, 9, 10, 11 points in that range. But they just needed one more standout game to get over the hump here. They had a great week by all standards. 98 points will usually get you a win in our 14-team pretty deep league. But it wasn't enough this week as the Butte Pirates came out swinging. So nice job by Zach to find his way to 6-1 first. Sausage Wallets lose 3rd straight and continue to slide down the pole, known as the standings. Sioux City Smugglers 100, Sausage Wallets 68. In this one, AJ Green 2 weeks in a row on the Sioux City Smugglers, 2 stellar weeks, 22 points. Although he did catch probably the ugliest 80-yard touchdown I've ever seen. He was ahead of that cornerback by about 40 yards, and Andy Dalton threw it about 30 yards short, and then A.J. Green duck, dodge, dive, and dodged his way into the end zone. Carolina defense, 23 points. Nice week. Gronk's back. Anybody here? 12 points, 120 or 117 yards receiving, no touchdowns, but 2 that narrowly missed him from Tim Brady. Ellington excitement, dad, 1 point. Gio Bernard, welcome to the Gio show. He had 5 this week, 18 last week, probably have 18 next week, 5 the week after that. It's kind of the Gio Bernard wagon right there. For the Sausage Waltz, RG3's looking like we all expected him to look. He had 25 this week. He's running the ball, throwing the ball, looks great. Unfortunately for the Sausage Wallet, no one else on their team looked great. Nobody else made it into double-digit scoring this week. Trouser Snakes 72, Buffalo Armadillos 59. Headline reads, Trouser Snakes slither past Armadillos in a matchup of 4 left feet. This one was ugly, people. For the Trouser Snakes, McCoy had a blog game of 7 points. MJD, gross, 4 points. Jacoby Jones, still recovering from getting hit by a stripper with a champagne bottle. He scored 3 points. And Jared Cook, everybody's least favorite tight end, also scored 3 points. Steve Smith had a decent week, and Robbie Gold both broke the double-digit point barrier with 12 points. And that was enough to get it done because the Buffalo Armadillos did not come to play. Ridley and Orange Julius only touchdowns on the day for the Dillos. Josh Gordon, D-Jax each scored 2 points, and Bilal Powell scored 0 points. Unexpectedly, I would say. That's 3 pretty solid players the last couple weeks for the Dillos, and they did nothing. Flint Tropics 105, Poughkeepsie Pandas 80. Flint Tropics continue to win with lineup full of running back backups. Or we thought running back backups. Stafford 26, Harry Douglas. Nice pickup after trading Roddy White 21. Cowboys receiving core of Dez Bryant and Terrence Williams. They had 25 points. Another big week out of those 2. Ben Tate and the law firm, 7 points. Both of them are either split backs or backups. But Foster's hurt now, so Ben Tate all of a sudden becomes a little more valuable. We'll see what happens after the Texans come back from their bye. But he could have, in Ben Tate, a starting running back for the Houston Texans. For the Pandas, 5 in double digits, including Tyler Eifert, who was in for the bye week. Jimmy Graham, he had 10 points. Nice play. Unfortunately, Kenbrell Tompkins, 1 point. Spiller, 1 point. Biggest disappointing of the fantasy football season. And Alex Henry, the kicker, 3 points. So tough week for the Pandas, only getting to 80 total. Oh, the humanity. Wrinkle Beasts lose 7 straight. This is a start like we've never seen in SJU and Misfits. The Wrinkle Beasts are 0-7. They lost this week to the Hotties, 86-74. Russell Wilson, 19. Stacy, 16. Eddie Lacy, 14. He said that 3 weeks in a row, I feel like. Unfortunately for the Hotties, Reggie Wayne on a bad pass from Andrew Luck. Kind of went to go grab it awkwardly and tore his ACL. He is done for the year. Hopefully not for his career because he's an all-around standout guy and we like Reggie. But not looking good for Reggie as we go forward. Wrinkle Beast, V-Jax, another 2-touchdown week from the arm of Mike Glennon, 26 points. Ryan Matthews, 18 points this week, had a nice game. And Alex Smith, 15 points in the stead of Drew Brees. Unfortunately for the Wrinkle Beast, negative. Drew Brees is on bye. That's not good when you're the Wrinkle Beast. Vincent Brown, 2 points. Kyle Rudolph, 2 points. Jason Snelling, 1 point. Emmanuel Sanders, 0 points. That's just too many bad weeks out of players that he needs a little more production out of. Waiver Wire Wednesday this week. Mike James, with Doug Martin going down, he went for $50 to my Pretenders. Don't feel great about it, but it's a starting running back, and the other option was go with Joik Bell, and I didn't feel great about that. So $50 it was. Darius Hayward-Bay, 27 to the Gnawbone Butte Pirates. Be interesting to see if he cracks the lineup with that big waiver wire budget spend. Cade, I think his name's Josh McCown. I don't know what his fucking name is. McCown, Cutler's backup, went for 21 to Chernobyl. Might have been able to get him for free. Not sure anyone was looking to gather up something McCown. I'm not really sure what his name is. And Marvin Jones, $16 to the Baton Rouge Border Collies. He's looking for a receiver to fill in since all his receivers on buys. Only one trade this week. My Pretenders dealt. This makes me sad because I just absolutely love watching him play as bad as he's been this year. Colin Kaepernick, the Gazelle, Dwayne Bowe, who I'm not going to miss, and Charles Clay, who I secretly really like having on the bench and in the starting lineup when needed. They were all sent to Buffalo to play for Jacqueline Chesky and the Armadillos, for Jay Cutler, who tore his groin severely and is out for a long time now. Cecil Shorts, who plays for the Jags, so that's about all you can say about that. And Brian Hartline, everyone's favorite person to trade. So Gazelle, Bowe, Chuck Clay for Cutler, Shorts, and Hartline. You make up your mind what you think of that trade. It was a good trade to have over a bottle of wine, so thanks, Jack. It was a fun night. Flint Tropics, so what Week 9 pick'em, let's get into. Flint Tropics started out versus the Buffalo Armadillos. For the Tropics, Stafford and Dez could be part of a shootout as the Lions take on the Cowboys. Run DMC is back, so he's got a starting running back. Buffalo Armadillos, though, every time I look up and down this lineup, I think there's a lot to be excited about. And you know what? I think that excitement holds true this week. Dillos are going to wax the Tropics in the Battle of the Bison. Hollywood Hotties take on the Crapstone Prairie Dogs for the Hotties. Wilson, Stacy, Lacey, as I said, seem to be a common combo for them. I think 2 out of 3 will continue this week. I don't think Zach Stacy will do quite as well as he has been just because of the matchup. For the Prairie Dogs, Marshawn Lynch, AP, Rogers could put up 60 points by themselves, maybe more. Toss in San Francisco D versus Jacksonville, Kelvin against Dallas, Moreno against Washington, and Boykin against the Vikings. Yikes, it could be a monster week for the Prairie Dogs. I'm calling it. Prairie Dogs set a SJ and Misfits fantasy football scoring record with 171 points. Chernobyl Tin Whiskers take on the Baton Rouge Border Collies. Peyton, Jordy have big games, I think, this week, but everyone else kind of putzes. Fortunately for the Tin Whiskers, the Border Collies literally have a team full of bye week players or no one in the spot to start, which, you know, it sucks for the Border Collies this week. They're most definitely going to move to 5-3, I think. But the good news is they don't have to deal with bye weeks in really any other week. So I'm calling Tin Whiskers. I don't think they have a great week outside of Peyton and Jordy, but they do enough to get by the bye week Blues Border Collies. Poland Sausage Wallets 4-3 take on the 6-1 Gnawbone Butte Pirates for the Sausage Wallets. Going with the 2 tight end set of Tony Gonzalez and Jordan Reed. I think RG3's dialed in for a monster game as they play Denver. But the Butte Pirates, nice matchups all around. LaFell-Cam combo could be deadly as they play tonight on Thursday Night Football. One would think that Darrelle Revis for the Bucs would cover Steve Smith, which could leave Brandon LaFell to the rest of that porous secondary. Cam can get him the ball on a long one. It could be a nice combo. I think the difference this week for the Sausage Wallets, you're starting Chris Ivory and Lamar Miller with Ray Rice on bye. Those two could put up 5 points combined. They could put up 20 points, but I think 5 is much more likely. That is the difference. The Ute Pirates hold on to first place. Sioux City Smugglers take on the Tallahassee Trouser Snakes. Romo, Welker, Bush, and Carolina D all with monster matchups. Could be a big week for the Smugglers if the Prairie Dogs didn't have so many great matchups and great players. I'd say the Smugglers could have the high-scoring week. For Tallahassee, is Vic 100%? That's a question mark. Wallace, will he play against Aqib Talib, who shut down Jimmy Graham? That's a question mark. Not a lot to love there other than McCoy versus the Giants. I think the Smugglers drudge the Tallahassee Trouser Snakes this week and move to 5-3. Poughkeepsie Pandas 2-5 take on the 0-7 Wrinkle Beasts. Wow, Jimmy Graham and CJ Spiller are both questionable, although he does have backups ready and waiting if those two don't play. For the Wrinkle Beasts, they're projected to win at the moment. Steven Jackson could be back. Drew Brees plays Buffalo. My wife just showed me her tots. It could be the week that we all dreamed of. Nah, Pandas in an ugly one. They get it done. Pretenders, my Pretenders, 5-1-1 versus Duluth Draft Dodgers at 2-5. Potomac Pretenders, KCD. They play Jason Campbell. That could be nice. Heath Miller plays Oakland. I like that. And I think Eli turns the season around for both himself and the Potomac Pretenders this week. Duluth Draft Dodgers, good week to play the Dodgers. Rivers, Luck, they're two, viable quarterbacks, both on bye. Arian Foster on bye, Danny Woodhead on bye. So in their stead, Carson Palmer, who's got a decent matchup against the Falcons. Fortunately, I do have Larry Fitzgerald to cancel any chance he has of having a big game, I'm assuming. Felix Jones also filling a hole. Greg Jennings, he's playing Green Bay in the flex spot for the Dodgers. Could be a revenge factor game for him. I don't know, though. I mean, Christian Ponder's probably going to be hurling the ball. And if he's not, Josh Freeman's going to be throwing it way over Greg Jennings' head because he's a short guy. Pretenders draw the last ace in the deck playing the Dodgers this week. Any other week they get crushed, but they're going to move to 6-1-1 this week. That's it for Under the Foreskin. As always, follow us on Twitter at SJU Misfits and on YouTube, youtube.com/SJUNmisfits. Until next week, good luck out there on the gridiron.